area. So,
Well, I want to say congratulations to every one of us in Lagos State. But my own issue is that we must, imbibe the maintenance culture. Lagosians, we know ourselves. Lagosians, we know ourselves. Please, let us make judicious use of this infrastructure. Let us see it as our own property. Take ownership of it. And, congratulations once again to all of us.
The Lagos State government is doing so well in making life comfortable for residents of Lagos.
all right, sorry.
Here, e-birth registration begins September 2nd in Lagos. Electronic civil registration and vital statistics will begin on September 2nd in Lagos State. The National Population Commission has begun training ad hoc registrars across local governments. Federal Commissioner representing Lagos State, Mrs. Sadiat Olatunjoye, while opening the training at Koshofe local government, said the training will be in 2 phases, while some councils were merged depending on the size and number of volunteers. She said the exercise is to train ad hoc officials who will handle the registration of births to ensure they have accurate data of children born in Lagos State. They are to register children under 1 and 5 years. The registration for children under 1 will be done at hospitals and other non-governmental institutions, while children under 5 years will be done at community and ward levels. This particular registration is unique because such children will automatically have their national identity number. It is also important that they capture as many children as possible to make planning easier. This is a welcome development. So those who have children under the 1 to 5 should get ready.
Are you talking to yourself?
I'm talking to myself.
but in a situation where she doesn't live in Lagos, what happens?
She will register them in Ogun State now.
Today,
She doesn't live in Lagos. Do they school in Lagos?
No.
No.
We
you're
can
on your
move
own,
to Lagos.
sorry.
You work in Lagos, but you live in Ogun State.
I'm in Lagos.
You work in Lagos.
You better move to Lagos. Lagos is the pace setter.
But it's good. Effective planning is key to the efficiency of any government.
Yeah.
If we are able to get this right, it will help government in planning our schools, our hospitals, and every other infrastructure that will make Lagos better for all of us.
Yes, I like the fact that when you get these children registered and you have your
NIN
name
automatically.
Yeah.
easily.
Yes.
The stress we went through to get our NIN, but with this now, it's a welcome development. I really like this
And I
initiative.
hope people take advantage of this.
Yes, please do. Okay, so let's go to my story. FG states raise 100 billion naira for meter procurement. Now, the federal government and the states have raised 100 billion naira for the procurement of prepaid electricity meters. Minister of Power Adebayo Adelabu said this was under the Presidential Meter Initiative Program. According to him, President Bola Tinubu's administration has been making efforts to close the meter gap in Nigeria, adopting various initiatives. He mentioned that many customers are not paying their bills because they believe they are being cheated by the power distribution companies through estimated billing, stressing that metering will ensure transparency. Now, out of the 12 million electricity customers we have in Nigeria, he said only a little over 5 million is metered. Wow, that's way low.
Oh,
beyond
just over 5 million.
Yes, that is very low. So if
like
indeed the government, okay, so I believe that they are going to do something about this, because people say that they estimate. I don't use estimated billing, so I can't really say much about it. I use a prepaid meter, and for someone like me, I pay for the services I get. If you don't give me electricity,
There's no way
I will not pay.
Deduct your money.
And now the good thing about this prepaid meter is when something happens to your maybe your transformer,
They send him a SMS.
they come quickly to fix it.
Yes.
Because they know
They need to make money.
Yes, that's the good thing about this. They just come quickly to fix it. They'll send you SMS like, okay, this is what is happening. We'll fix it. Unlike those who don't have prepaid meters, it can take days, it can take months.
And the speed at which they do their routine maintenance now, it's like the speed of light.
Yes, because you pay for what you get. So if you don't give me that service, I will not pay. It's as simple
My
as
question
that.
is this: are these meters? Are they going to be free?
Yeah.
Are they going to be produced locally to empower our economy? Time it was in this country, in my estate, we were metered free of charge. And those were the early days of prepaid meters.
Good old days.
But are people paying for meters now? I don't know. This 100 billion naira, is it going to ensure that people get it free?
Or will it be subsidized?
And will they be manufactured locally? Because I got a prepaid meter, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, for a particular place, and I had to pay. And as at then, government kept saying, okay, you'll be metered free, but I paid.
But you know, this funds for, you know, getting these meters is not from the federal government themselves or the state. It's from, I think, the World Bank.
Yes.
Okay, this particular
The
one.
World
Yes.
Bank is supporting
It's
the
supporting.
federal government,
So
yes.
I-
100 billion naira.
No. Altogether, they're going to
Altogether.
raise
Everything
100
is
billion
The
naira.
state government,
Yes, the
World
federal
Bank.
government, yes.
World Bank, yes.
For the meters, yes.
All right. I'm so happy that the state government will also be contributing towards that metering of Nigerians. This particular news item, I read it earlier today and I wasn't happy. Just like Joshua and I discussed yesterday, cost of governance. Okay, flights of fancy. Governor slammed for wasting 160 billion naira on unviable airports.
You know,
6 state government, including Ekiti, Ebonyi, Jigawa, Yobe, Nasarawa, and Bayelsa, have spent about 160 billion naira on airport projects that opposition politicians and aviation professionals classified as unviable. Stakeholders say the huge public fund expended on the facilities have amounted to waste. They condemn the state governors and ask Nigerians to hold them responsible for the waste. However, some industry players advise that the facilities be converted into skill acquisition centers for the benefit of the citizens. Some called on relevant authorities to probe the money spent on these unviable projects. 160 billion naira. Flight of fancy.
yesterday, or was it on Monday, I saw a report about the governor of Ajibola State, you know, flaunting the
Please
fact
mention the
that
state. Mention that
look,
state.
Governor of Osun, State of Osun.
Mention the states. Go
And
on.
he said, you know, he was flaunting the fact that, oh, they were going to construct an airport, a befitting airport that can match the international airport in Lagos and, of course, in Abuja. I was now like, for what? In Osun State? Is that what they need at this point? People are hungry. You're talking about
Thank you.
Airports.
I like
about
the fact that you
airports.
said people are hungry.
are
I think that
hungry.
our government, our leaders, they don't really know what we mean by
Misplaced
developmental
priorities.
projects. Why would you want to, you know, construct an airport? Take, for instance, Nasarawa State. Nasarawa is close to Abuja.
Is that-
Abuja has an airport
international
already.
airport.
So why do you need an airport in Nasarawa State? That is one. People are hungry. We have so many out-of-school children in Nigeria. We're not paying attention to our human capacity, and we want to, you know, construct airports. That's the same way they construct bridges, though, where they don't need them. Yes.
There's a bridge like in Ogun State from here
Thank you. I was going to say
to
Abeokuta.
radio.
For what? Why do we need an airport?
You know,
You know, I spoke to some people living in Abeokuta, and they said that the bridge is just useless.
just useless.
Those
People are
bridges
hungry. We have
are
maternal
unnecessary. Yeah.
maternal issues. We have issues in our health sector. I think I agree with the stakeholders that said that they should convert these airports to skill acquisition centers.
Yes, so that people can
Yes.
learn a skill.
That's waste of money, waste of land.
Place
When we need the
priorities.
land to, you know, to do mechanized farming.
I don't understand why there's so much pressure on the center when our governors, you know, are just lavishing, you know, state funds.
Let me read
with
this from the
no
report.
Accountability.
Let me read this. They said, okay. it's on.
Ademingbe, fortunately enough,
Okay.
an aviation journalist is going to join us on the program. He's already on the
Okay.
line. Wale Shadari.
Okay.
He joins us now to take a critical look at some of these fancy flights by
Okay.
our governors. Wale, it's so good to have you on the program. Good morning. Good morning, Wale. Okay, there's a particular news item on the front page of the Punch this morning. Fancy flights. How some state governors wasted the sum of 160 billion naira constructing unviable airports. What say you to this?
the state government have expended, including the different territories that happen to be a conduit for public funds. Most of these airports are just a waste of funds, but in this part of the world, the government should build airports just for their own interest, like chartered aircraft. But if you look at the economic impact of those aircraft, they do not, they are very, very viable. Again, if you look at the airports in Nigeria, only 2 or 3 airports are available, even the ones that are run by the federal government through the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria. You'll find out that only 3 out of 26 airports managed by Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria are viable, and these are Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt, and probably also the Owerri Airport. But along, you will just find out that most of these are just waste of public funds. In most cases, a lot of airports are coming up now. So many, like in Ekiti Airport, Bayelsa, Osun, Jigawa. Jigawa Airport was built about 14 years ago. I visited that airport. Most of the time, those airports receive just 3 or 4 flights in a day, which is not even enough to pay for some of those facilities or those services they render there. It's sheer waste of public funds, because you will ask yourself, what are we building airports for? You have airports in Lagos, you have airports in Ibadan, you have another one we have another one in Akure, you have another one in Osun, you have another coming in Ekiti. So within less than 200 kilometers, you have about 4 or 5 airports, which does not make sense. And most of these airports are very viable. Yes, it would have been a better day, because airports most times bring development. Anywhere you sign an airport, you will see a lot of development coming up in that trade. But that does not justify the amount of money that should have gone into health, education, infrastructure, and the rest. But in this climate, it is very easy for state governments to say, okay, I want to build airport because it's highly capital intensive, and it's usually for their own interest.
Okay, Wale. My colleague here, Bukola, wanted to add a question to what I raised earlier.
Okay, so I want to know, what should be the criteria for, constructing an airport in a state? Take, for instance, Osun State or Nasarawa. What should be the criteria?
There's no criteria from what I've just said, that most of it are just for ego purposes, and for the fact that most of these aerodromes are just a conduit. Because if you're going to build airports, you're going to spend nothing less than 30-35 billion minimum on that. And it's usually a way where funds are siphoned by state government. It has been proven severally. If we look at the case in Ebonyi or the case in
Ekiti,
the case in Bayelsa, these are clear cases of waste of public funds, because that airport in Bayelsa was built, and that airport was built about 2 or 3 years ago. And again, when you commissioned it, that airport did not even meet the requirement of NCA, Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, because they didn't follow the final due process, and that airport. So they had to spend another 20 billion naira. So what it means is that a state in particular, one state is spending about 50 billion naira in one airport. And you can imagine, if we spend that huge amount of money on things that are more important, this state would have been better off. Most times, I get angry when people talk about hardship and focus more on the federal government. What are the states doing with their money? What are the states doing with their allocation? And development must come from the state, not only from the federal. Yes, I agree that the federal government is the police, but the development must come also from the state. People must begin to see the benefit and reap the benefit of the humongous allocation given to state for development. So, like I said, it doesn't go through any criteria. It doesn't go through any listing. Once you're a consultant and you follow the NCA regulation, yes, states can build airports. But the most annoying aspect of it is that when they build this airport, they know that they can build this airport, they can't run it. Then they transfer this asset to fund. They transfer this asset to fund because airports are security facilities. So they transfer them to fund. And by so doing, funds resources is overstretched. And the revenue they make from 3 airports is what they use to service over 28, 30 airports. So they can never be development.
Okay, Wale.
Until the states with, yes.
Yeah, I'm just looking at what you raised earlier. Like the case of Ekiti now, according to this report, the immediate past governor of Ekiti State, Kayode Fayemi, actually expended the sum of 16 billion naira public fund on the Akure airport, but the airport has also refused to attract an aircraft over its non-viability. Shouldn't that money have been invested in a sector like agriculture?
Absolutely, that is what I said. It would have been spent on agriculture, things that are more important. The 16 billion naira spent on that airport, as far as a lot of people are concerned, is a sheer waste. In the sense that it's not even the 16 billion naira alone that was spent on that aerodrome, on that airport. More money is going. That is why that airport has not been used. That facility has not been complete. For that facility to be completed, you will spend nothing less than 10 billion naira to complete it or more. So, if you spend that huge amount of money on things that are viable, on things people can see, yes, we can say yes, airports bring development. But we have seen that in so many cases in Nigeria, airports have not brought any development. In the case of Jigawa, I know how much was spent on Jigawa Airport. If you go there now, Jigawa Airport is the shadow of its former self because activities are not going on there. The only time some of them use the airport is during Hajj or during pilgrimage. You understand?
So that's a waste.
Yes. Okay, so Wale, let me just keep this question in. Hello, Wale.
It's a share with the airport that I know that may not be in way is the Anambra Airport because of the economic activities around that place. And we also have Asaba Airport, which was a well-conceived airport that we serve that region, Edo, Delta, and Anambra, even Enugu to a large extent. But now we have 2 airports in Asaba and 1 in Anambra, which is even less than 50 kilometers. So that advantage that Asaba conferred, and that advantage that Asaba had before Anambra Airport has been eroded because now the traffic in Anambra has eaten that of Asaba.
Absolutely, Wale.
Asaba to Anambra is not the bridge that is divided, it's less than 20 minutes. So you begin to ask yourself whether these things were really thought out well by this government. But because they have bureaucracy, that is why these reports are coming up. And it's not going to stop.
Okay, Wale.
No law
Wale.
stopping the state government from building airports.
Hello, Wale. Okay, so now some stakeholders have said that these airports should be converted to skill acquisition centers. Do you agree with that school of thought?
It's usually very difficult to say that. You know, when I hear what stakeholders say at times, and you need to show that type of stakeholders we have. Yes, we all agree. We all agree that the building of those airports are not well thought out. But converting them to skill acquisition center is what I don't know how it's going to work because airports, is it the wrong way alone that costs so much money? The wrong way to build the wrong way costs a lot of money. To build some of those facilities cost a lot of money. I wonder the type of skill acquisitions that could make them to want to come and establish a skill acquisition center. But what we should be talking about is that we should look for ways to discourage many of these state governments from building airports. These are industrial waste.
Okay.
Because if you tell me that it brings development, I do not know what is even the traffic into that airport. Nigerian traffic, total air traffic figure for the whole airport in Nigeria annually, both for international and domestic, is less than 18 million.
So why the waste of public funds?
Yeah, so why do we waste all the funds? Understand?
Okay, Wale, I'm afraid we are out of time. We thank you very much for sharing your perspective with us on this fancy flight by some state governors as reported in The Punch this morning. We thank you once again for your time.
Thank you for that.
All right, we'll quickly move to X now and see what is trending today. Remember we discussed the age bracket set yesterday by the West African Examination for the West African Examination Council by the Honorable Minister of Education. 18 years for any secondary school student to write the West African Examination Council. And we had different arguments here yesterday. Some said it's not good, that you should have liberalized the age bracket for writing WAEC, and of course peg it at a particular age when you want to write your UTME.
Okay, so you can allow children, the girl child who is 14 years old, to get married. But you cannot allow...
In some parts
in some parts
of
of the and it is allowed. People do it. But you cannot allow somebody, a 16-year-old, to write WAEC. Now, what if... that's number one.
Secondary school at 16.
Thank you. So for some people that have to write WAEC like twice. So if at 18 I write my WAEC, I don't make papers.
Like 20.
You wait for
and that one at 19. Another one at 20. And then eventually I get into school.
Strike.
Thank you, ASU strike. And then I want to work in a bank, for example. And they tell me 23. If I'm not 23, I cannot get a job. Please. So what happens to me?
You come to civil service.
What do you think?
Look at everything holistically, and of course intervene on behalf of fresh graduates, and probably have some conversation with the employers of labor not to peg their employment at a particular age bracket.
I don't think that will work. For me,
will that be possible?
I don't think that will work. Because even right now, okay, let's take a look at the ASU strike on it. So you can spend 6 years in school.
Yeah, but there's a new government, there's a new sheriff in town.
Okay. Jibola, what he believes, when he leaves, what happens when he leaves?
Yeah.
At least he's not leaving until 2027 if he's not re-elected.
I don't know if anybody remembers that we used to have, as a body, parents, teachers, association.
We still have them. We still have them.
In private or public schools?
No,
even in public schools too. Yes. As a body, national body.
It was led by.
And Professor Babs Animashao.
Thank you. That's his name. Yes. I don't think
Babs Fafunwa.
Fafunwa. Yes.
Babs
there's an Animashao.
Okay, go on.
For such
Fafunwa
things,
was the former Minister of Education.
He was
okay. All right, go on.
So, in such situations, they come and meet with government.
So they are the stakeholders.
They are the stakeholders. That look, why don't we? They talk about it, and they have reasonable outcomes. I don't think such. I don't think such an organized.
So the question is, did the federal government, did they do any consultation?
Exactly.
Did they meet with anybody, with stakeholders, before coming up with this policy? Or you just woke up one morning and said, okay, this is what we are going to do. Who did you tell? Who did you consult with? 18 years old.
That 18 years can work for UTME or for university or tertiary institutions.
Yes, I agree. But not for WAEC.
Maybe government has. I'm not.
Another plan.
I'm not. Their mouthpiece. Maybe they have plans to bring in maybe some kind of skills in between
to engage them for 2 years before they turn 18.
Or maybe they're trying to bring back A-levels, so
Okay.
that there will be
Okay.
options.
Okay.
That, okay, by the time you're finishing your A-levels, which is HSC1 and HSC2, you'll be
Like
18.
a
And then
shred
you have
of days,
another,
they are
and then you have another option to write JAMB. So you have, you know, two options to get into uni.
University.
And
Anyway, let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes.
We'd like to have your own perspective as regards what is trending on X today. The age bracket set by the Honorable Minister of Education for those who might want to write WAEC. So let's have your views and connect with us on our social media platforms. We'll be taking a very short break on the program right now. When we come back, we are focusing on something very, very germane to the development of our society. Is the judiciary still the hope of the common man? We'll find out after this break.